Where can you find a blue elephant in Thailand? How did an elephant make history in St. Thomas, Ontario? And what do you do with an orphaned albino elephant in South Africa? I think there's a bit of a theme going on in this episode. My name is Lorraine Simpson and I am passionate about travel. My obsession has taken me to 92 countries over the last 53 years, and I am now devoted to helping the travel industry recover in a post-pandemic world. To St. Thomas, a town where no elephant has been killed for over 135 years. And the big guy behind me is a replica of Jumbo, who was killed here on the train tracks when he was here traveling with the P.T. Barnum Circus. Legend has it that he was saving another baby elephant who happened to be on the train tracks stuck. But the other story is, and we're not sure which one to believe, is that he was drinking because this guy did like the sauce. But first, coffee. So we arrive in St. Thomas, and first thing we got to do is come and see you. Hola, chicas.
Hola.
I love that. And now we're going to have some coffee. So there's a lot more to just drinking a cup of coffee. I can't just ask you, hey, make me a cup of coffee. You've given me all these three things here.
Yes.
What are you going to do?
So when we do the cuppings, one of the great things about it is being able to see what's so unique. You know, one bean, two different roast profiles, and you'll get completely different tasting notes, right? So when we're coming up with our roast profiles, it's also that. What can we highlight? What do we wanna, kind of bring forth more?
So you're a bit like a coffee sommelier.
I guess we appreciate good coffee. I like to be simple, right? So
you're like the artist. I mean, in this town so far, all I've met are people that are really artists, and you are the artist of the coffee, because I'm coming in here saying, oh, just give me a cup of coffee. And you're like, oh, no. Even one bean gives you different flavor profiles.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? Just give me a coffee. So it's interesting and educational that you're telling us all about.
Yeah, well, you know what? We grew up with it, right? And that was one of the reasons why we wanted to get into roasting, because I think as women, we bring in a different approach to roasting too. As you saw, or even a roaster is very, I don't want to say basic, but it's a lot more intuitive, right? It's more on smell, on sound, which is how we learn to roast, right? At the farm, there's no machines, there's no computer telling you, right? Like it literally is by sound and smell.
So where's your farm?
So we are in the northwest part of Nicaragua, in Las Sabanas. That's the little area where we are. We're a little blip on the map. Yeah, and we are fourth generation coffee growers.
So stop teasing me and feed me coffee.
Okay.
It's strong.
Yeah. So this is how the beans get to us. This is the green bean, right? Which is actually the pit of the coffee cherry.
Oh,
right?
Okay.
So these
Can we taste
it? You will break your teeth when they're green.
Okay, maybe not. Yeah. So it just then gets roasted, and the deeper it roasts, the stronger it is, or how does it work?
It's actually backwards to what a lot of people think. Okay. So a lighter roast will have more caffeine than a darker roast, right? Because the beans have caffeine. So when you're doing a lighter roast, it's not roasting as long or as high of a temperature in the roaster. Okay. Right, so it's actually backwards. When people, would come into the roastery and they're like, I want a dark roast because I really want, that pick me up, and I'm like, if you want the pick me up, you want caffeine, then you actually need to go to a lighter roast, right? So I think that's where a lot of the misconception is, because it's true. A lot of people are like, no, I need to be woken up. I need the dark roast, and I'm like, no. Like, if you want the caffeine, you actually go backwards, go light.
Okay, so we're gonna taste.
Okay,
right. So how do we do this?
Take your spoon.
Yes.
And you go away this way, right? And see how your coffee breaks.
Oh yes.
Right, so that you can smell.
It's very technical. I just want to drink a coffee. Come on. And now? Oh, now we get to taste it. Yeah. Oh, okay. So, it's very loud.
Yes, that's what I said, manners.
If I said I need cream and sugar in this, you'd be like, no.
No, I think you should have coffee how you enjoy it.
I don't drink black coffee, and I don't drink coffee without sugar, but if I had to drink black coffee without sugar, any of these is good for me. I'll just have this right here. I could just, this is my morning coffee. So I'm with Serge Lavoie. You are project coordinator on this project, right? And I'm very glad that you're going to be walking me into this park, because I have no idea where we're going. It feels like we're not really going into a park. Tell me about the project.
Well, we're actually sitting on an old twin railroad bed that was active right up until 2010.
Oh, really?
And then it was abandoned and the rails were taken away, and we brought together a community group to convert this rail line and the bridge that goes over the valley into Canada's first elevated park.
And these are lights that are going to light up at night?
That's right. So that's gentle path lighting. We didn't want anything high to ruin the mood, so the light will be down on the path. It'll be safe, but it won't feel like you're in the middle of a city street.
Right, yes.
Here's a really interesting piece of historical information. We have 3 trees here that we're growing. They're pawpaw trees. Normally you find these in the deep south of the United States. Now, they will grow in our zone, so we put them in here because of their connection to the Underground Railroad. When the slaves came north, escaping slavery, they would follow the rail lines and they would find pawpaw trees, and that's what sustained them. We found evidence that right at the base of where the bridge is today, there was a black slave chapel, a Baptist chapel, that existed there for 50 years.
Lorraine is standing on a bridge. So let's leave Jumbo right here in St. Thomas, Ontario, and head all the way across the world to South Africa and meet Aideen from the herd at Jabulani Safari. Absolutely one of my favorite places on earth, and I am so excited to go and chat to her. Hello and welcome back. So I'm here with Aideen Rood, who is the head of one of the most beautiful places that I've actually ever been in my life. Welcome, Aideen. Thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you, Lorraine, and thanks for having me.
Tell me where it all started for you, because you run Jabulani, but you also run the herd. And so the herd was started by this one elephant that you rescued called Jabulani, if I'm not mistaken. So tell me the story.
He was stuck in a silt dam adjacent to the Kruger area. There's actually a lot of mines, and they go through the boundaries, and I don't know what minerals is actually in the area, but it's kind of, the elephants just keep going there. However, this little baby elephant then got stuck in one of the silt dams, and the herd couldn't pull him out. And they called the veterinarians as well as the nature conservation, who then took Jabulani out. They couldn't find his herd, and they brought him to us. So I've been quite involved as well in a lot of rhino conservation as well, and with just the experience and the background on that, we looked after Jabulani. So we tried to reintroduce Jabulani back into the wild elephant herd on the reserve, but then with the wild elephant herd, he was actually, no, this is not my family, and he was very cheeky, and the matriarch actually turned on him. So it became just too dangerous, and we had to withdraw the whole project. But then in 2002, there was a group of elephants based in Zimbabwe. They wanted to kill and actually slaughter the herd of elephants because of the wildlife and the war veterans that invaded the land and just didn't want to care for them. So we took 2 trucks up, brought them down to us, and the happy ending for Jabulani was that he had an instant family. And without knowing at that stage what having a plan, really, we thought you look after these elephants like we're looking after the rhinos. And my dad was a very successful businessman, and he took care of all these conservation efforts as we were building up the reserve. So then he passed away in 2002. So that, left us kind of stranded, and we decided to build a lodge in order to generate income. And also from that, having that experience and thinking about the future, if something happens to us, how will this be sustainable to look after a herd of elephants? For each elephant baby coming in, it's a 60-year responsibility.
Right.
Our oldest elephant now is 34 years, and the youngest just turned 1 year.
How do you say the baby's name?
Kanhisa.
Kanhisa.
So Kanhisa means sunshine. So it's our native language. So what happened with her, she was caught in a snare.
Oh.
So when she arrived, she was in such bad shape that she couldn't drink. She had so much pain. And then she was also an albino. So, there was a double whammy around her. However, I always just say to myself and to my staff, we must just work on when, baby comes in, let's work on the next 24 hours. If we survive this, we take another, 24 hours, and it's like kind of step by step. Kanisa's doing so well at the moment, and during COVID, I started to reintroduce her to this elephant herd, the Jabulani herd. And every day, we continually, I started with just one elephant, and then I started taking another elephant. And I've also used my, in my hierarchy of females, the lower females, not only my matriarch, because the matriarch is so amazing, she'll always take in these little elephant orphans. However, the other females, I also wanted to see how they would do without the matriarch. And but it was so amazing how each elephant in that whole herd plays a role in Kanhisa's well-being.
They're not in captivity, are they? They can just leave anytime, and but they have the safety of the herd to come back to if they choose to. So they're choosing to come back to that safety, right?
Yes, correct, and that is so amazing. You know, they sometimes even the younger bulls will join other younger bulls. You know, they stay out for days, 2 days, but their comfort and their safe haven is back at the herd, where they always come back to. But you kind of have to manage that, because in the long run, for a real reintroduction and a rewilding process, you'd rather like to take these elephants into an area where there's not so many tourism activities.
Okay, so tell me about the hotel. Tell me how the lodge came about, because I've stayed there. I've been to probably the top hotels in the world. I've been very, very, very lucky. But there's something special about Jabulani. There's something. It just gets you. I tell you, when we went on one of the safaris and we did the sundowner, and even now I have goosebumps. I bawled like a baby when those elephants walked across the other side of the lake there. I was so emotional. I love elephants anyway, but it was just such a beautiful moment. So tell me about the hotel.
Okay, so basically the lodge, we only have 6 suites. So it's a very small lodge. They all have their own private splash pools. They've got an outdoor shower as well that's glass enclosed. And you also do your game drives. You can do twice a day or even 3 times a day. And also the program very flexible at the lodge. And you also incorporate the elephant experiences.
You're closed at the moment, I assume. The hotel,
yes.
The lodge is closed right now to visitors.
Yes, correct. So we, unfortunately, we thought the borders would open up on the 1st of October, but, not such good news is that we're not really open. There's so many people on the list not to come. But I still have all my staff in order to look after the elephants. You can't, you need your staff, you need to clean all those stables. You can just imagine 16 elephants, all the dung.
When do you think, do you have any idea when you may open up?
I think we would look at the 1st of March, opening, because even if we open borders now, people won't be so comfortable to travel. We're ready. I mean, if people, if the borders are open tomorrow, we're ready.
Okay.
We'll accept, visitors. And I mean, we'd love to have everyone to come and see what we do.
Yeah.
I think it's so amazing to see, especially for people that haven't been traveling, for such a long time. Just to be in the open areas, in the wildlife, in nature. I think we all need that. If you just see and you can just be around animals, they've got so much to offer you.
How can people help you now? How can we, even though you're not open, obviously, if somebody is looking for a safari, the minute that South Africa opens, then they should come to you, because actually we saw more at Jabulani than we saw anywhere else in any safari that we did. We had the elephants come right up to us. We walked with the elephants. I never thought I would ever do that. So as safaris go, that was my nirvana. That was my ultimate safari ever. But how can we help you from North America? How can people help you?
Lorraine, I think, we've got a lot of programs that we're running currently. We've got foster programs. We actually have virtual experience as well, So if you'd like to learn more about the elephants as well, book that, because it contributes towards the cost of caring for the elephants, but you can also learn something. On the fosterings, we keep you updated. We also actually have, on global giving, which is, platforms where people can donate, and they can also get a tax certificate, and benefit from that. So, and you can actually watch our YouTube channel. We've got a YouTube channel for herd, HERD, like a herd of elephants, and there you can actually follow Kanyisa. But just by even sharing that, if you don't even have, money, share what we do. Instagram, Facebook, social media, on a website. I'd really, love that. I'm actually not very good at asking for
funding. I follow you on Instagram and share your posts, and I find it absolutely fascinating to see, especially, I mean, having been there, having, sort of been right there with the herd myself, we want to get other people to do the same thing.
No, that would be amazing. We've got, some projects going, but I mean, anyone that has some ideas as well, please reach out. Yeah. We're quite open to advice as well. You're never too clever, you always need, I always say you need partners in life, and you learn from each other as well, so as I learn from the elephants.
Yes. Well, I certainly hope to come and visit you again. I didn't bring my partner. He knows how much I am obsessed with elephants. But one day I would like to bring Keith, and he can also meet Jabulani and the herd and see the beautiful hotel and the animals that are around there. It's just absolutely amazing. The whole area is fabulous.
Well, I'm going to say goodbye to my old friend Jabulani now, and I'm going to take you to bustling Bangkok to meet another friend of mine, Chef Naror, at the Blue Elephant. My next guest is also a special friend. Chef Naror Samanistep is one of Thailand's top 5 chefs and has been promoting Thai cuisine around the world for 40 years. Welcome, Chef Naror. It's so good to see you. How are things over there at the Blue Elephant?
In Thailand, it's like a lot of raining, the season raining. And we have a lot of now local Thai customers who come to enjoy Thai cuisine with us. So I'm very proud that we have more Thai people to come to eat.
From the moment I met you, Chef, I was a fan, and you are certainly a legend in Thailand. How did you get your start in the restaurant industry?
Actually, I have my mother for Thai cuisine. It's inspired by my mother who loved to cook the curry paste. That's how I start to love to cook Thai food. What inspired me after my mom and my brother went to study in Belgium, hotel management. That's how I jumped to the cooking, not only Thai cuisine but other cuisine like French cuisine, French technique. And I myself met my husband in Belgium. Then I started to learn French cuisine for 1 year.
So, did your mother have her own restaurant then?
My mother used to send the curry paste on her friend who do a wedding, and my sister used to have the small place where she sent the rice and curry in the market.
I have loved every cooking class I've ever done with you. So what is your favorite dish to cook?
Actually, I think as a child, I have a lot of influence from my mom. I love to cook the curry. Curry, that's my favorite recipe.
It's such a difficult time around the world right now, and I've just wondered how you're doing during COVID. Are you in Bangkok or are you in Phuket?
Actually, I was in Phuket because I have a restaurant in Phuket. So what we do is, Phuket have a nice beach, not too many people, and really I would say that Phuket have really a good atmosphere, weather, people, hospital. The Thailand is really take good care of Thai people. We also donate the food to people who cannot come out to buy the food, and they have less money. So me and my staff, my people, we serve the food in front of the restaurant because that time we close, but we keep people who don't have the food to come to pick up the food in our place.
Thai cuisine is very natural, and I love the way that you use a lot of healthy spices and herbs in your cooking, right?
Yeah, turmeric and ginger, very important because that's why if you come to Thailand, our country, we are very proud that we have a lot of herbs, that we eat a lot of herbs in our food, that Thai people don't have too much COVID, I think, because of Thai cuisine. I think now as a Thai person, I'm very proud that we have really good doctor and good hospital that they really take good care of Thai people. And I think if you visit to Thailand, you can be safe because our country is a lot of air, big We have a lot of seaside. So anyone who want to visit Thailand, you can come and you have good food, you have a good view, and really good hospital that they really take good care of people. That you can see Thailand have not too much COVID, and Thai people really be careful about health concern.
Chef, I know you do quite a bit of TV work as well, don't you?
Yes. Actually, latest I did a TV show on Taste of Asia. When I think about TV, I love to show my country. So when I show on TV, I love to show the beautiful view of Thailand, beautiful food, fresh product, fresh ingredient that Thailand can give to the audience that if they come to visit Bangkok or Thailand or Phuket, whatever, they can eat really good food. Besides the beautiful country, they can eat really wonderful Thai cuisine with fresh herb, fresh fish.
So what's next now for you in your career?
Okay, next for me is to train my children to become one of the management, but they are in the management team, to train my children to love food, love business like I do. So they start to learn to love our business. So one of my son, he either become a CEO of the company, and we will have a new generation, new place coming up, a Thai restaurant, but modern style like my children. So I think this is very important.
Yeah.
And for me, very important now is our export, curry paste and seasoning. As like COVID, now people cannot get out of the house. They don't like to go out and they cannot come to Thailand. I would make more and really good quality of my curry paste and seasoning that I can export to other country that they can eat good Thai food.
I know that you've also been running online cooking classes, which is really cool, especially for us over here. And you're running a farm too.
Yes, we have a garden behind our restaurant in Phuket, and we grow organic herb and vegetable. And I also not only have farm, but I support. I bought the small farm, organic herb, organic rice to use in my business in my restaurant.
So I always ask this of my guests, what's on your post-pandemic bucket list?
California. I would go for pleasure because I have a lot of friends, and I went many times over there every year before the COVID to teach Thai people, and I was teaching GORDA as well. So that is my favorite place to shop and eat, and really wonderful place. And after Los Angeles is India.
India is a place I've never actually been to, funnily enough. So where would you go in India?
In Mumbai, because I have my best friend. I think she's 40 years, and I love to be there with her because India is colorful and you have a lot to learn about Indian food. Because besides Thai food, I could cook Indian food as well.
Thank you so much, Chef, for joining me today. It's been wonderful catching up with you. I absolutely love visiting you with my groups, and I cannot wait to come and see you again in person. Thanks again, and stay well.
From bustling Bangkok, now let's head to Belize. I think I deserve a little bit of R&R and perhaps a margarita on the beach.
Hello, good afternoon, Karen. I have here Karen Bevans, who is from Belize. So I'm really glad that you joined me today, and thank you very much. I have never actually been to Belize myself, and so I'm really looking forward to speaking to you and finding all about it, because somewhere that I'd like to add to my personal bucket list. So welcome, Karen.
Thank you, Lorraine, and it's great hearing that you will add it to your bucket list. Hopefully it could be immediately after the pandemic.
Oh, that would be really cool. I would love that. I definitely think that would be an option. So tell me all about Belize. I know very little about it, so just treat me as a complete newbie and tell me all about Belize.
Well, we are English-speaking destination. We are geographically located in Central America, but we are of a Caribbean culture. We are culturally diverse Belize as a destination has about 6 different ethnic cultural groups. Traveling across the country is very easy by land, sea, or air. And you can leave from one part or one region of the country and go to another within the same day and have different experiences. Apart from the sun and beach, you have hiking, canoeing, diving, snorkeling. We are big on adventure and the wildlife. You can actually do birding, nature trails. We have the second largest barrier reef in the world. If you're big on adventure, we have the ATM caves, which is very adventurous. It includes hiking, swimming. Of course, this is guided, so you'll have a capable tour guide with you who is well trained and has all the safety protocols in place. You go through the cave, and at the end, you see the remains of a Mayan family. We again have the Blue Hole, which is another major attraction on our marine side, and 60% of our arrivals visit Belize, particularly for snorkeling and diving.
Well, I'm ready. I'm all set. See, I'm ready to go. I want to get on the plane right now and get over there right now. So tell me what it looks like safety-wise. Do I have to get tested? Can I get tested on arrival? What does that look like?
We have made it pretty easy and convenient for travelers. We're giving options. The first option is that you can be tested at home within 72 hours of arrival. And if you produce a negative result of a COVID PCR test, you will be fast-tracked through the airport process to make your arrival very easy, fast, and convenient. You have the option to come to Belize and be tested on arrival at the airport, which again is a very fast process, approximately 15 minutes to be swabbed. All the details of how we will test can be found on the www.travelbelize.org website.
That sounds really technical and you've really thought about it. So I love it. I'm going to feel very safe coming to Belize. So tell me about the food. What are we going to eat there? Because it's a melting pot of different cultures. So what can we get to eat?
Oh, wow.
Tell me about the food tour.
The food tour includes the Mayan food, which of course the Mayan will teach you they would even teach you to make the tortillas that you would eat. We have in the southeast coast, which is the area which we call the culture capital of Belize. Yeah. And that's how we describe that location because of the richness of the culture there. While you're having dinner with their cultural food, you're getting an experience of the Garifuna drummers and the Garifuna dancers.
Wow, that sounds amazing. Okay, so is there anything else that you can think of that we missed that you'd like to tell me about?
I would love to tell you about the scenery while traveling along Belize too. We are well recognized for our greenery, our flora and fauna, and our people. So the reports we get or the feedback we get, the surveys done on Belize all shows that Belize is an amazing destination. But what stands out is the people. The pride we have for our tourism resources or natural assets is shown and is seen in the visitor experience. That is what gives us the recognition for sustainable tourism.
Well, that all sounds very, very interesting to me, and I definitely have to add Belize to my personal post-pandemic bucket list. So the question to you is, you've told me about your beautiful country. You've told me all about what we can see there and what we can do there and what we can eat there and how we're going to get around. So what is on your personal post-pandemic bucket list?
My list is extensive, but maybe I should just focus on the area that you would be most familiar with as well, the western part of Canada.
Okay.
So because while I am comfortable with wide open spaces, Belize has a very low population density and known for wide open spaces. So that area for me would be more comparable to what I am comfortable with and would give me a different experience while still have a similarity to what I am used to.
Yes. So, have you been to Canada before, Karen?
Yes, but Toronto.
Toronto. So you want to go out west?
Let's say
Calgary.
British Columbia is another one I've heard of, with Rocky Mountains. Again, Belize is very mountainous, and we're used to climbing Maya temples, Maya sites, and mountainous areas. So that would be comparable to what I am used to. I would want to experience that as well.
Awesome. Yeah, that would be great. Well, you'll be very welcome in Canada. The Canadian people love to show off their country because it is a beautiful country as well. And now that we've been in lockdown so much, I've actually experienced a lot more of Canada than I did not know about before. So you'll be pleasantly surprised when you come here, I'm sure.
Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did, especially the elephants and cooking in Thailand. So join me next time when I'm going to find some more great places to add to your post-pandemic bucket list.